want to talk to you today about the poster I've called the Facilitator Coach Role. You can see it right here. The facilitator or coach in the collaborative process is a mental health professional whose forte, if you will, is body language and communication skills. She or he is the person on the collaborative divorce team or the collaborative dispute resolution team whose job it is to facilitate communications and enable people to hear each other, which when you're involved in a dispute is not that easy to do. It's easy to say, but it's not that easy to do. So this is the first coach poster that I have, and it basically lays out the role of the facilitator. Whether it's a two-person coach team or a one-person facilitator team, the roles are pretty much the same. That person or those two people will facilitate communications by first setting goals. So what they do is they sit down with the clients, either one-on-one or one-on-both, and they identify and prioritize the client's personal interests and goals. Now, the personal interests and goals are not, what I want to have for dinner. They're what I want my life to look like in 5 years. They're long-term life goals. They're not mundane daily goals. What do you want your children's lives to look like? And so the facilitator's first job probably is to help the clients see their goals. Put aside the dispute for the moment, put aside their anger, put aside their angst, their hurt, their depression, whatever it is, and focus on long-term goals that are realistic. They do this by facilitating communications as well. They talk about common parenting goals, their individual fears, and their individual goals. Now, when they were married, they had shared goals for their marriage, but now they're thinking like single people, and so they need to focus more on their individual goals. The next step in the process with the facilitator or coach is to brainstorm possible options for resolution. And this happens on a micro scale with the facilitator, happens on a macro scale with the entire team, but to the degree that the facilitator can solve some of the problems without even going to the team, the facilitator is going to do that. So one of the issues that the facilitator will focus on is parenting. Who is going to spend more time with the children, if either, or are they going to share time 50-50? Who's going to make decisions? Who's going to be the primary decision maker if there is a primary decision maker? Are they going to talk about schools in this process, or is that not really an issue for this particular couple that's getting divorced? So she'll focus on what the issues are and then possibly start brainstorming possible options for resolution. And in that process, they may do some problem solving as well. They may identify possible options that are acceptable to both spouses. They go from problem solving down to facilitating agreement. In this case, with the facilitator, it would be on the parenting plan and focusing on getting a resolution for that. Now, in some teams, the facilitator will not have an end product to give the team because they weren't able to get that far. In some teams, the facilitator may have a signed end product. On most of my teams, we usually get some kind of product from the facilitator, but not an end product because the entire team wants to talk about all of the aspects of the parenting plan. But that is the facilitator coach role, and we'll move from this one on to some of the other posters that I use with my facilitator and coaches.